You're welcome back to this channel. We all know that teachers are needed all over the world. Yes, they are in high demand across the world. So, most especially in the UK, teachers are really in high demand. Yes, I've spoken about this a lot of times on my channel. So, I have someone here today who is a teacher, who is a Nigerian, and is a teacher here in the UK. He's here to come and enlighten us how he got the teaching job in the UK, the requirements, the cost, how he got it with visa sponsorship into the UK. And we all know that teachers in the UK are not affected by the new rule of not bringing dependents. You can bring your dependent to the UK. He's here today to come and enlighten us. So I will allow him to introduce himself and then we can dive into the video.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Onyebuchi Emmanuel, and I am a science and physics teacher here in the UK.
How did you get into teaching? Was it something you've loved to do, or was it a diversion into career or something?
Well, there was a mixture of both, really. Um, I've always had the innate ability to teach, but never wanted to be a teacher because, of course, we know that teachers are known to be very broke in Nigeria. So it's never something I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an engineer. However, my applications to get an engineering position in a school never worked out. And somehow it pushed me back into trying education. And as soon as I applied to teach physics, I got it right away. So I guess God blocked every other path that wasn't mine and kind of redirected me back to what I had a flair to do. So I just felt I needed something that paid well. I
Yeah.
never wanted it to be education. But somehow God's grace brought me back to that path. So yeah, I've been teaching for quite a long time now. Um,
Mm.
on average, I've been on and off, but on average, just about 10 years.
Wow. Okay, thank you. So, which did you move to the UK directly from Nigeria as a teacher, or you went to another country at first?
Okay, yeah, I didn't go from Nigeria directly because I would see myself as a traveling teacher. So from Nigeria, I actually worked in the Saudi Arabia for the first time before moving to the UAE, and then from the UAE straight to the UK here. So no, I didn't go straight from Nigeria.
Oh, wow. So, moving to the UK as a teacher, how did you go about that? Because I know when we discussed, I know you mentioned you're in visa sponsorship, which is what a lot of people are actually aspiring to know the requirements, what it entails for them to get this job with visa sponsorship. So, what are the requirements, and how did you go about that?
Okay, requirements and how I went about it. Well, 2 years ago, they announced that they had opened doors to accept Nigerian applicants. It wasn't the case before that. So as soon as I heard the news, I was like, okay, it's time for me to hop onto the next train of destination. So the requirements are just, well, they are strict, but there's room for some adjustments. Depending on what you're teaching, but majorly, you need a teacher's license. It could be from the UK, it could be from Nigeria. Both are accepted. But then the one from Nigeria, which is teacher's license from TRC, is accepted on conditional basis with the understanding that within 4 years, you're given time to secure the UK teacher's license, also known as the QTS. So you
Okay.
have a 4 year span to achieve that.
Mm.
After which they may, I don't know if that will change over time, but they may not consider to accept your Nigerian teacher's license anymore.
Mm.
So they would let you come into the UK with your Nigerian teacher's license as a requirement and give you time over 4 years to get theirs. And it's quite, they've simplified how to get the UK teacher's license, which is the QTS.
Yeah.
Nigerians need to apply on their platform, submit
Yeah.
all required documents, and they do their background checks and everything. When they ascertain that yes, you're indeed a licensed teacher in Nigeria, it will take some time, then issue you a QTS. but then you don't need that to get the job. You can get the job first and then do that afterwards. So that's
Oh,
how it's processed. But then teaching here is a licensed field. So you must have a teacher's license. There are no two ways about it. Back in
yeah.
Nigeria, you can study any course and still be a teacher. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it's totally different. They need your license. They need it to be from an accredited source, an accredited institution.
Yeah.
Um, they will also check with TRC in Abuja to ascertain the authenticity of your license and the validity of the license as well. So
Yeah.
all of those are done in the checks when you apply for QTS. So yeah, even for visa process, those checks are required.
Oh, okay. So how did you go about it, getting the job in the UK,
Oh
like the
yeah,
teaching job? Yes. Was it through,
yeah,
did you apply directly to the school?
yeah. There are two ways. You could apply through schools directly, or you could apply through agencies. But
Okay.
through schools is a harder way.
Hmm.
Schools hardly, they do, but they hardly do it by themselves.
Hmm.
However, they rely a lot on the credibility of recruiting agencies. There are so many of them. And
Hmm.
these are for the schools who have the license to issue um, sponsorship.
Sponsorship,
Not
yeah.
all schools have the license to issue that. So those who have the license rely a lot on agencies because what the agencies do is that they'll interview you first before the school interviews you. So that's what I did. I
Oh,
applied personally to schools directly, but most of my applications never worked out. All, in fact, never worked out. Either they never see it or they never reply, or they'll reply and be like, you're not qualified and stuff like that. But
wow.
then I started applying to agencies, which I'll mention later. And these
Okay.
agencies would view your CV. If you qualify, they
Okay.
interview you themselves. If you scale through their own interview, then they put you up in the queue of teachers whom they
Oh,
want to assign to schools. And then when a school sees your profile on the agency's website, they request for an interview with you. And that's what I did. I had about three schools interview me. And
oh,
out of the three schools, I got this one I work with right now. So yeah, I applied through an agency. The agency are the ones that got me the job.
oh, okay. Like, what were the costs of moving into the UK? Like, was it
Okay.
free, or were there any relocation allowances or anything?
Okay. In terms of cost implication, working with Engage,
Mm.
Engage has first of all a visa processing company that works hand in hand with them. So that visa agency processed my visa. I didn't pay them anything for that.
Oh,
Engage sorts that out. That's for
oh,
visa application fees.
oh,
Um,
okay.
or no, visa processing fees rather.
Okay.
But then what I have to pay is I have to pay the cost of the visa. You know, UK
Okay.
has less than 3 years visa and then above three. So I have to pay for my 2 year visa. I had to pay for the health surcharge for the two
Okay.
years span, which my visa covers.
Okay.
Um, that's another thing. Medical test that I needed to pay for that. TB, TB test, I need to pay for that too. I did all of that in the UAE, so
Okay.
I can't recall all of that cost in dirhams. But the
Mm.
tuberculosis test I paid about 650 dirhams. Um, visa, visa and health surcharge. Can't
Okay.
remember exactly right now. But the total was close to 9,000 dirhams, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
either 8 or 9,000 dirhams. That's what it comes up to without the
Okay.
TB test.
That's in UAE currency.
Currency, yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know what the exchange rate is right now, so anyone who is listening can do the math.
Yeah.
Um, And then, of course, booking your flight ticket, you have to do that
Okay.
after you've gotten the visa. I
Okay.
made a silly mistake of applying and booking my flight before getting the visa. I was confident I was going to get it because I had sponsorship letter, I had everything sorted.
Yeah.
Mm. But then they kept requesting for one thing or another. It kept
Mm.
delaying, and it's past my flight date. I had to extend again, which is extra expense, which no one
Yes.
should find
Yeah.
themselves doing. Um, Another cost is your degrees from Nigeria need to be attested, and they
Okay.
have to be attested in Abuja.
Okay.
They be attested at the Ministry of Education, step one. They'll be
Mm.
attested at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that's step two.
Okay.
So when they're attested, it is ready for attestation by NARIC or ENIC, depending on what they
Mm.
call it here. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that check if it equates to the UK standard.
Mm.
And for them to check it, they'll have done the one in Nigeria and send them a copy, and then they will do their own through their website. You have to pay for that as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly how much it cost me when I did it. Can't remember exactly how much it cost, but a few hundred, I think. I can't remember exactly, but there's an amount on the website. I can't remember how much I paid. So you pay for that. They'll do equivalency of your degree.
Mm-hmm.
They'll also request for a document called proof that you were taught in English from your
Mm.
university. They'll
Okay.
also have that checked. So all of these are extra cost. And if you don't do them early enough and have them sorted, if you
Yeah.
start that process before doing these things, you spend three times the cost trying to pay
Mm.
people to accelerate the process.
Mm. Yeah.
Usually better you have them done early, sorted, and kept even
Yeah.
before you start getting job offers. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's another cost. And
Yeah.
then if you move over here, try to have enough savings for
Mm-hmm.
housing
Yeah.
because most schools don't, apart from a few schools in London, do issue some financial support or discounts for housing,
Oh
but
wow.
they are very few. Most schools
Mm.
don't. You have to sort that all of that out yourself.
So
Um, yeah, basically that's it about the cost. What else am I missing? Nothing else really. Nothing
mm,
else. Yeah, so that's it.
okay. Thank you. Were there any relocation allowance for teachers? I heard about a relocation allowance for physics and languages teachers. I don't know if that is true. Can you share more light on that?
Okay, yes, it is. So, yes, there's a relocation package by the government. So teachers would teach physics and languages,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's definitely not scam. So when you arrive into the school in the UK and you're teaching any of these fields,
Okay.
you apply for it upon arrival. They will
Okay.
request some information from you. They will
Okay.
check the validity or how correct that information is from your school. Then
Okay.
your school will tell them that yes, indeed, this person works with us. These are the person's qualifications. This is what the person teaches. When they can
Okay.
validate that, the government will reply you and tell you, okay, by so month you receive the the relocation package.
Once.
So
No.
yeah, it's to encourage teachers in this particular subject to come in
Mm.
because the shortage is extreme. So
Wow.
yes, I myself and a few other physics teachers I'm aware of were recipients of the same.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one because I have lots of people asking questions about this relocation allowance, and you can hear for yourself. This is actually true. So you just have to get in first. You have to get in the UK first. It's not that you get it before coming into the UK. You have to be here first. I think it's after the first term, if I'm right with my research, then you
Yes,
can
it is.
yes, then you can apply for the relocation allowance.
And
So I also have okay.
you must be coming to the UK for the first time. You've been to
Oh,
the
yeah.
UK before, you're not qualified.
Or if you're already in the UK, I don't think you're qualified.
You know, if you're already in the UK or you've been to the UK and you left, you're
Oh,
not qualified. You have to become to the UK for the first time,
that's fine.
and you have to be coming for those particular jobs and nothing else but that
Nothing
particular
else.
job. hmm
Yeah.
So,
Mm,
so many conditions there.
yeah. Okay, thank you. So do you think someone that doesn't have a background in education have a chance? I have that question a lot.
So, those who have a chance are, for example, those who studied um, electrical engineering or mechanical engineering
Okay.
and are willing to teach physics. They have a chance.
Okay.
Yes. Um, most others, it's going to be difficult. You
Mm,
really need to have a teacher's license. But then those who have the electrical engineering and mechanical engineering need to have teacher's license as postgraduate, PGCE, to support
okay.
the degree they have. That's when they
They
are
have.
eligible.
Mm,
Yes. Unless you
mm,
studied engineering in the UK. If you already studied it in the UK, then they'll
mm,
consider you since you studied it from their school. Then they'll give you
mm,
time to get your QTS. But if
okay.
it's something internationally, you need to have a postgraduate certificate to support your engineering degree. So without a teacher's license, it's not impossible, but it is
Okay.
extremely difficult
Mm,
to go through. Yeah.
okay. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming to this channel. I really appreciate this information you have given to us today. It will really, really help a lot of people with whatever question they have in mind. Can you mention the some of the agencies that can recruit teachers to the UK? Because I know there are some agencies that they only do for within the UK, but there are some that recruit overseas teachers into the UK.
Okay. Yes. Some of those agencies are Dumba Education, Dumbar, Dumba Education, um, Quantum Scholars,
Okay.
um, I Can Teach UK,
Okay.
um, Hourglass Recruitment, Hourglass like the Hour, HOUR, Hourglass Recruitment for teachers. And then the specific one who helped me get the job was Engage Education.
Oh wow.
So I had made contacts with I Can Teach, Dumba, and Engage. The three of them had my name already on their system, trying to source a school for me because I had already passed their first interview. So Engage was the first to give me. And
Oh,
as soon as I got the job with Engage, a few days later, I Can Teach said they also had a school for me. But then I
oh,
just told them that I'm
you
already
already got
taken.
one. Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, that's some of my viewers would know about Engage Education because I've brought a recruiter here, so you can see that this is real. Because I have some comments in the comments section on the video saying, "Are you sure this is real?" So you can see this is real. Yeah. So what is your word for aspiring teachers?
Okay. So what I would say is relocating as a teacher now, for me, I think is the best possible. Is the I wouldn't say easiest, but I would say it's one of the best ways to come in because there are so many benefits attached to it. For example, you
Mm,
mentioned in the beginning that the salary barrier of coming in the UK doesn't apply to teachers. That's one of it. And
yeah.
then there's so many others. As a teacher, of course, you know that there are many holidays that apply to us that do not apply to many others. So, yes, as a final word of encouragement, what I would say is people shouldn't be scared to try. You should just keep trying, apply through these agencies, keep trying. Um, get a decent CV. Um, if you don't have the qualification, be patient, get it. It's better to be patient and be guaranteed of something than to rush and fall into this chaos of people looking for sponsorship, getting into
Mm,
trouble with scammers and all of that. Just be
mhm.
patient. get the qualification. It may take a couple of years, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because it's
Mhm.
guaranteed that you will get the job. So whoever is looking for such a thing should be patient, first of all, and resilient. Never give up. You receive lots of no's. With all of my work experience and knowledge, the first two schools that interviewed me they did not get back to me. I didn't know
Mhm.
if I passed the interview or I failed. I just didn't know anything. They never got back to me. But the third school was the lock. So that's it really. Everyone can do it. Anyone can do it. But then
Mhm.
at the end of the day, God's grace matters as well.
Mhm. Yes. So thank you so much for coming on this channel. And guys, please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video for someone that will benefit from it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.